In 2018, LA Valiant looked like the perfect mix of esports ambition and city pride. They weren't just a team, they were a statement. But only 3 years later, that connection vanished. The roster was gone, the fans drifted away, the local identity disappeared. What happened between hometown heroes and total identity collapse? When the Overwatch League debuted, it promised to be esports' answer to the NBA. City-based franchises, home arenas, passionate crowds. But the price was steep, as teams paid up to $30 million just for a spot. Without guaranteed viewership or sponsorship, it was an enormous risk. A risk which, at the time, Immortals Gaming Club, an organization best known for their NALCS team, saw as worthy. LA Valiant embodied the dream which the league was based upon, with recognizable stars like Space, Agilities, and Soon, along with matches at the time having a home crowd feel due to being based out of the Blizzard Arena in LA. A fan base quickly built around the team. The Valiant didn't just join the league, they made a mark. A Stage 4 title in Season 1, playoff runs, and growing local engagement. Fans connected with the players, events, and brand. For a moment, it felt like it was going to endure forever. Then 2020 happened. Valiant kicked off the season with a team full of rookies, but still managed to take the heavily invested in Dallas Fuel 3-1 in the opening week.
So many people rating them low, thinking they can't do it, too many rookies, they don't have the experience. KSP just laughs in the face of that experience and delivers just a stunner of a final fight.
With players like McGravy making names for themselves with bold plays.
In the corner, they really can't move.
The Fuel holding back, hoping to survive the cold. So far, oh, McGravy, the bomb!
However, soon after this, the pandemic hit. Live events went dark, ticket revenue disappeared, players and teams were left in limbo. For franchise-heavy teams like LA, the financial pressure suffocated the dream. And this wasn't isolated. Vancouver Titans released their all-star roster, and many other franchises downsized drastically. COVID hit the Overwatch League at the worst possible time. 2020 was meant to be the breakthrough year for homestands. Every franchise was finally scheduled to host local events in their city. For the Valiant, that meant multiple LA events in front of local crowds, the kind of ticket sales and sponsor activations they'd been promised since 2018. But in March 2020, Blizzard suspended all live events indefinitely. Overnight, the central pillar of the OWL model collapsed. But the teams endured. The league restructured. And the players kept grinding. In addition to this, McGravy and Lastro both became well-known personalities throughout the season, with moments that are now part of Overwatch history. Andy, run the clip.
What is
Lastro? What the fuck? Look at Lastro.
Dude!
What is he doing?
Sadly, the vibes was all this team really had by the end of the season, with a 3rd to 4th place finish being the highest they managed in any tournament. In May of 2020, Immortals Gaming Club, the parent company of the LA Valiant, was already under financial strain, selling off Optic Gaming, whose assets they'd acquired just a year beforehand. By the end of the year, it became clear that keeping a Western roster based out of Los Angeles, paying salaries, housing, and staff was unsustainable without the revenue streams OWL had once promised. This sort of financial pressure is a tough spot for any business, especially one with so many people's livelihoods at stake. Not just players, but the strings of coaches, agents, media staff, and so many others whose work keeps teams competing. I'm confident that if properly communicated amongst staff and the community at large, a remodel of the LA Valiant would have been completely understood as a means to keep the team alive. But the opposite happened. While Valiant's coaches continued to make roster additions and prep the team for the Season 4 of the Overwatch League, the ownership swiftly dropped a tweet entailing a drastic move to China, with all team operations being loaned out to Chinese organization LGE. Valiant then dropped their entire Western roster. Names like Agilities, an old fan favorite who'd just been re-signed, KSP, Shax, and McGravy, citing visa and safety issues. The community went into uproar, with fans, along with figures such as XQC and Overwatch League talent, condemning the organization's actions in destroying the players' livelihoods. Within weeks, they fielded a fully Chinese roster, with a mix of either retired, unknown, or generally disliked players within the Overwatch scene. The result? A winless season. 0-16. Dead last. Fans in LA felt betrayed. It wasn't just competitive failure, it was cultural erasure. The Chinese roster, while skilled to a degree, lacked connection to LA. No home crowd, no local identity. It was a transactional team that just never resonated. In 2022, Valiant decided to remain in China, this time recruiting established Chinese players Dia and Lengsa, along with eccentric head coach No-Hill, in a bid to both garner greater results and entice Chinese fans to support them. Once again, the Chinese era of Valiant had failed to compete, finishing 17th in the season. This season also saw deeper issues within the Valiant structure of being loaned out to LGE. Reddit posts came out displaying the players living in a cramped team house, along with many concerns for whether players were being paid properly or not. At the end of the season, head coach No-Hill stated in an interview that LGE had actually warned the team after winning a couple of matches in a row that any more wins would risk their salaries not being paid, most likely due to the shoestring budget not being able to provide for the additional travel and living costs associated with making it to an event. Despite not garnering any more wins, the players ended up not getting paid for 4 months, and the ownership was reported to the league. This was a stark reminder that the players, although being part of this upsetting relocation project, were just pawns in the games of the management. 2023 is where things get more interesting. The Valiant decided to pull another reset, this time with a fully North American roster. Sika, Nos, Krawi, Laya, CJ, and of course, Paintbrush in there as well as a player coach. No flashy names, just hungry players. And for a once abandoned fanbase, that hunger was meaningful. The results of this new roster were in no way immediate, going 0-8 in the spring stage qualifiers. Then, on September the 8th, they played the LA Gladiators, their local rivals with players like superstar Kevstar and ex-Valiant player KSP. Losing would cause either team to be an utter embarrassment in the league. The Gladiators went 2 maps up, but on match point, they stumbled. Valiant took advantage, fighting back map by map until they completed a miraculous reverse sweep. An unexpected and emotional win that reignited local pride. They didn't win the league, but to everyone who watched it, it sure felt like they had. The Valiant's journey taught a core truth. Fandom isn't built through investment alone. It's built through identity, trust, and honesty. With the logo which fans and players proudly wear on their chest, the symbol for which an organization must not control, but steward. By late 2023, the Overwatch League had collapsed. Teams voted to exit, with each franchise reportedly receiving a $6 million payout to terminate contracts. The city-based experiment was over. In early 2024, Blizzard launched the Overwatch Champions Series, a new open, partner-run structure for flexibility, localization, and sustainability. And, in a strange way, the Valiant's arc mirrored the league itself. Both started with optimism and spectacle, banking on city-based pride to elevate esports into the mainstream. Both struggled when real-world economics and the pandemic stripped away that foundation. Both faced moments of collapse, rebuilding, and eventually, transformation. The Valiant found a spark again in Underdog Rookies, while the league itself now seeks rebirth in a more sustainable, open format. LA Valiant may never have regained the respect of their fans, and the Overwatch League as we knew it is gone. But what remains? Players fighting for recognition, fans rallying around genuine stories, and the reminder that connection matters more than branding. Maybe more authentic than what was lost. From collapse to comeback, the Valiant story isn't just about one team. It's about the fragility of esports ambition, and the resilience of the people who keep it alive.
Los Angeles, 3:33, nothing on the stereo. Dirty tear like Mona Lisa, smiling in the half light. Mysteriously, but seriously, I'd follow you forever, even without looking. You call, we picture box is full, and we are kissing in a fistful of fragments falling down. I throw them up and I watch them hit the ground like snow, amputated down.